What is up, guys? Welcome back to Will of DDT. My name is Anonymous, and today I wanted to share a list with you guys. I just won a store treasure cup with Marco. I am really enjoying this leader for the EBO2 meta. I've always loved playing off meta and haven't had the opportunity to do so for a while, but this was kind of an opportunity I spotted in EBO2 to run this guy because he does very, very well into the top deck right now, green, purple Luffy, as well as a very solid counter pick, Lucci. Does absolutely claps both of those decks, and then also does really well into a lot of popular rogue picks right now, like Bonnie and Vegapunk. So yeah, guys, I've been really enjoying with Marco. I went X1 at 2 treasure cups, and then won another one, and then what else? The at regionals didn't do so hot because I saw a lot of goofy matchups, but I have a 100% win rate into every single green, purple Luffy and Lucci that I played at all of these events. So he's doing really well into the decks that he's designed to do well into. So if you see the standard matchups, you should be doing great with Marco. So yeah, guys, that's really it. I'm gonna jump right into the list here. Shameless plug: if you guys want a discount on Dueling Guard products, check out a link in the description so you can get some Dueling Guard products for 5% off and 15% off if you buy 3 products. Aside from that, yeah, let's just get right into the list. Alrighty, guys, so getting right into the deck profile, let's go over Marco's leader ability to start off. Dawn ×1, activate main once per turn. You can draw 1 card and then place 1 card from your hand at either the top or the bottom of your deck, and then give an opponent's character minus 2,000. This is an insanely valuable ability because it means that every single turn you are going to get to cycle cards. Basically, draw a card from the top of your deck. If you like it, keep it, and then put something else at the bottom of your deck. Or, you know, if you like everything in your hand, you can just take something that doesn't have counter that you're going to need eventually and put it back on top of the deck so that you draw it next turn. So really great leader ability. Sets up a lot of the combos in this deck, and then the minus 2,000 power is insane. You basically have an Otama effect on lock every single turn. You can minus 2k to one of your opponent's units and then swing into it via battle or use your power-based removal effects to KO that reduced unit. So minus 2k every turn is nothing to scoff at. That is an insanely good leader ability. So going right into the lineup, guys, this is a very what should I say, full-on Whitebeard Pirates list. So we are running pretty much a full Whitebeard Pirates package. So we have to run our 4 copies of 1-cost Ezo Searcher, 1k counter obviously, and then on play, get to look at the top 5 of the deck, grab any card that has Whitebeard Pirates in its types. So that is pretty standard there, nothing really else to explain. And then we have 2 copies of Whitebeard Pirates, the Event Searcher. So just for a little bit of extra consistency, I personally like this. Just gives us 6 searchers in the deck, more likelihood that even if you're going first, you'll see, you'll see one of these so that you can definitely start crafting your hand for the later game. And then on play, it's the exact same thing. You get to search the top 5 of your deck, grab any Whitebeard Pirates character. You can even grab Ezo. Ezo can grab this as well. Sometimes if I don't like any of the top 5 that I see, I will just like fish for the other one. You know, I'll use the event to grab Ezo or vice versa, and then just fish through the next top 5 cards to try to get my new gate or whatever it is I'm looking for. Also, this is an event card, and if you haven't guessed already, there's a reason we want to be running more events in this deck. So there's kind of double reason to be running the Whitebeard Pirates event. Next up, we've got 4 copies of 3-cost Marco. Now, like I said, guys, this deck is built primarily to handle green, purple Luffy and Lucci, and this is one of the cards that's going to help you do that. I really like this card because it gives you something to do on odd curve. If you are on first, basically on turn 1, you're going to use it to search or just attach 1 Dawn to leader and do leader ability to cycle a little bit. And then on second turn, you want to play this guy ideally because it establishes a 3-cost 5k body that's a blocker. So later in the game, if you do need it to block, you can certainly do that. And you know, I actually just start swinging with him, to be honest. Like, if he survives that next turn, I will start going 5k at my opponent's life, because there's no point just keeping up blockers for no reason in this deck. Only when you're at low life do you actually need to play conservatively like that. I think it's much better to just get the value out of the swings and whittle away at your opponent's hand. So I really like just being able to generate a unit on turn 2 if you're going first. And then on KO, this guy has a great effect. You get to return up to one of your opponent's characters, 4 or less, to the opponent's hands. This is really good against Lucci. If they choose to kill this thing, you are bouncing back a Laboon, a Kuzan, a 3-cost Brook, even a 4-cost Lucci if you want to. Basically, you are almost guaranteed to return something to Lucci's hand using this guy's on KO effect. So I really like this guy for that reason. Also, if your opponent, like GP Luffy, has a lot of 4-costs on board, like Zoro Juros, you can block the first one swing and send the other one back to hand. Feels really, really good. So just some more interruption, some more board clear. And then again, we've got another card here that punishes Lucci's removal. We have got 4-cost Marco. So 4 copies of 3-cost Marco, 4 copies of 4-cost Marco. This guy's effect is insane. He is a blocker, and then on KO, you can trash a card with the Whitebeard Pirates type from your hand, and if you've got 2 or less life, you can revive this guy from your trash rested. So yeah, really fantastic card against removal decks like Lucci. Against Lucci, I almost definitely want to take the first 2 life, no questions asked, because only when you're at 2 life is this guy's effect online. So I want to, like, as quickly as possible go down to 2 life so that this guy's revival effect is live, and it will screw over Lucci if he tries to KO it. You'll just pitch a card and bring him right back. Being able to keep your bodies on board is just so valuable against a deck that kind of relies on being able to clear them every turn. Next up, 3 copies of 5-cost Marco. So again, another obnoxious card against Lucci. If you're going even, this card is so fantastic. If you're going odds, it's honestly not as good. But yeah, if you get to go second, then basically what you're going to do with this guy is attach 1 Don to your leader, activate leader effect cycle, and give one of your opponent's 5k units minus 2,000 power. And then this guy comes down, and on play, he kills a 3,000 power unit. So basically against Lucci, once again, this means you're going to kill their Laboon, their Kuzan, their Brook, whatever it is, you get to minus it into range of 5-cost Marco, play 5-cost Marco to kill it, and then yet again, I love how thematically Marco works. Pretty much all copies of Marco have an on KO effect. This guy's on KO is that you may trash an event from your hand and play this character from your card rested. So once again, that's why we're going to be running a good amount of events in this build, and that's part of the reason why I have the Whitebeard Pirates event here. If you feel like you don't have enough events to fuel this guy's revival ability, you might want to avoid searching with this card. You might just want to keep it in hand so that this guy can be revived by pitching that event. Normally I do search with it, to be honest, but in some cases you might need to use it as revival fuel for Marco. So again, we've got this Marco who screws Lucci's board if he KOs it, this Marco who comes back if Lucci KOs it, this Marco also comes back if Lucci KOs it, and then finally another Lucci hate card. We have got 5-cost 6k Rush Ace. If your leader has the Whitebeard Pirates type, which ours does, of course, this Ace gains Rush. So he's a 5-cost 6k Rush, 1k counter, which is nice. And then once per turn, if this character were to be removed from the field by effect, you can just give it minus 2k power instead. So that is really solid. Just make sure you account for the fact that he will be minus 2k power, so your opponent can battle into him afterwards. But if you've got a blocker to support him, or like one of your counter events to support this guy after his power has been reduced, this guy's not leaving the board. So really, really good. This is mainly for Lucci. The other 4 cards I showed you here, or the other Marcos that I showed you here, they're really good into Lucci. They're your main strategy against Lucci, but they're also just generally, I think, very good cards. This card is much more specifically for the Lucci matchup. If I'm being honest, in most matchups, if I see this guy, I'm just going to send him to the bottom of my deck with leader ability, because in most other matchups, this is not really a priority. But against that, black matchup, it's very, very useful. Next up, we have got 4 copies of 4-cost Atmos. This card is cracked right now, guys. Just in general, I think this card is pretty absurd. He's a 4-cost, 5k, 1k counter, and on play, you can reveal 2 cards with the Whitebeard Pirate type from your hand. Obviously, you want to reveal something like kind of... You just don't want to know, you don't want your opponents to know what your power plays are, so try to reveal something more innocuous like Ezo or your event or maybe your blocker Marco even, because that's probably pretty predictable. Try not to reveal things like your 7-cost Newgate, things like that. I would reveal my 2k counters and probably my Ezos when I can. But in any case, you reveal 2 Whitebeard Pirate cards and in your hand to your opponent, and then you can return one of your opponent's 4 costs to their hand. A 4 that bounces a 4 is so nuts. That's just incredible, dude. That's such a good effect. So yeah, basically, this is going to be really good going into green-purple Luffy when you're on the odd curve, which is what you want, actually, against green-purple Luffy. Against most decks, I would say, in a vacuum, Marco likes going second. Against green-purple Luffy, you definitely want to go first. On their 4-Dawn turn, they will drop a Zoro Juro. On your 5-Dawn turn, you will attach 1 to your leader, swing 6k into their life, do your cycle, and then spend 4 Dawn on Atmos to bounce their Zoro Juro back to hand, which is so good. So you basically are undoing their board every turn, so they don't get those extra swings at you, which just allows you to survive into the late game where you just start controlling them super efficiently. So Atmos in general, I think, is a great card. There are a lot of relevant 4-costs in this meta. I think in every meta, 4-cost is just the number where you start hitting useful cards. So yeah, a 4 that bounces a 4, really solid. And then this last card over here, I personally love. We have got 5-cost Blue Ace, again 5-cost 6k, 1k counter. On play, you get to reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a 4-cost or less Whitebeard Pirate, you play it for free, which is so good because your leader ability obviously can stack the top card of your deck. So you are going to attach 1 Dawn to Marco. You are going to, draw 1 card and then put Atmos or 3-cost Marco or 4-cost Marco on the top card of your deck, and then you spend 5 Dawn to play Ace. Ace reveals that top card and then plays it active. This is just a really good play in general. Very good tempo. If you can do this and play an Atmos off of him to bounce your opponent's 4 costs, that's excellent. If you can do this and play a blocker Marco in the late game, that's really good. Electric Luna is a card that's going around right now, so your opponent may attempt to freeze your board. And just, tap all of your cards while they're sideways. That's totally fine. A great response to that is to do an Ace play, because then you generate 2 active bodies for really cheap, and you still have 4 Dawn left over after doing the Ace combo, with which you can spend 3 on like your Marco blocker or 4 on the other Marco blocker. So it's a good way to generate like 3 active bodies in 1 turn if your opponent tries to freeze your board. Just again, in general, very good tempo play. Against Shanks, which is a pretty tough matchup for this deck, generally I win with Ace spam. That's the only way I'm going to beat that deck, by generating as wide a board as possible. Next up, guys, we have the key card of the deck. This is 7-cost Newgate. This guy is so freaking goated. On play, you get to attach a Rested Dawn to your leader, which obviously is going to allow you to make your leader ability live. So even if you're on odd curve, you can play Newgate, attach a Rested Dawn to Marco. Marco will reduce something by 2k, and then Newgate activates and rests himself to kill a 5k unit. So with comboed with Marco leader ability, obviously you are killing a 7k unit. That's the main reason that this deck is a viable contender right now, because the main body that we're trying to remove every single turn is going to be green-purple Luffy's Sanji Pudding. Sanji Pudding's a 7k body. Your leader ability is going to reduce it to a 5k body. Newgate's going to activate to kill the Sanji Pudding. So basically, you want to go first against green-purple Luffy. He's going to drop Sanji Pudding on 6 Dawn, and then on 7 Dawn, you're just going to go straight into Newgate, attach the 1 Dawn to leader, swing 6k into his life, and then activate the Newgate beforehand. But yeah, activate Newgate to kill his Sanji Pudding. really fantastic combo. And just in general, this is so good. It's going to allow you to remove most of Vegapunk's board. It's going to allow you to remove GP Luffy's board. Even against Lucci, it's solid. Pretty much every matchup. I mean, this card is a staple, and I like seeing two of them. Like, you don't just want to rely on one. I often play two of these a game, sometimes even three. So yeah, really love the Newgate. Fantastic freaking card, and just so cracked when comboed with this leader in particular. Next up, we're just going into a 2K counter lineup. You know, I sometimes consider dropping this card just because he's literally just a 2K. I've never actually played this guy. But yeah, Jozu, 4 cost, 4K, 2K counter, and that's really it. If you wanted to replace that with like a non-searchable 2K that you feel has a better effect, feel free to do so. Next up, we are running 4 copies of Otama. Otama obviously is a really good card because on play, she is going to minus something by 2K. So again, you know, a lot of our removal in this deck is power based. We have our Newgate, we have our 5 cost Marco, and then we have some other cards coming up as well. Otama is going to allow you to reduce just a little bit further for only 1 Dawn, comboed with your leader ability, and an Otama Newgate can kill like a 9K or 8K unit. So if your opponent puts down an 8 or 9K on board, oftentimes I will just play Otama, Newgate, leader ability, and then pop that unit. So I really do like the Otama. Very good at 4 copies. And then next up we have 4 copies of Thatch, who is basically the exact same effect as Otama. The only downside with Thatch is that he forces you to take a life afterwards. So if you're gonna play Thatch, I often like to do it after I already have no life, or in a matchup where I kind of want to be taking life. For example, against Yellow Kid, I've seen a good amount of those roaming around. I might use Thatch just because he's gonna trash my life anyway. So I would rather just take my last life, reduce, and rely on my blockers that I already have on board to protect myself. So yeah, I do like Thatch. Very good card. Not going to be used as often as Otama, obviously. Otama is much better, but is solid in a pinch if you need to use it. And sometimes, you know, in matchups where it's just more important to clear the board, it might be risky, but sometimes it's good to just take the risk. Play the Thatch, take your own life. If it allows you to remove a big body on the opponent's board, it's usually worth it. Next up, we've got 3 copies of Rad Beam. Obviously, any 4 life red leader, this is almost an auto include. We're running 3 copies just because I'll show you what I replaced the 4th one with. But obviously, if you're less than 2 life, this is a plus 4K buff for only 1 Dawn. This is going to give you some great survivability in the late game when your opponent's going for lethal. And yeah, just generally a great card. I do also sometimes pitch it for reviving 5 cost Marco in the matchups where that matters. Next up, we have got 1 copy of Divine Departure. This used to be my 4th Rad Beam, but I replaced it with this just because this has a both defensive and offensive effect. Divine Departure, specifically when your leader is attacked, can be a plus 3K buff, so just a slightly worse Rad Beam, but on offense you can use it resting 6 Dawn total to kill an 8K unit. If you combine that with your leader ability, you can kill a 10K unit. Not super relevant for a bunch of matchups, but again, I felt like it was just good to have that extra bit of versatility. It feels like, for the most part, a 4th Rad Beam because you can use it, again, as a counter event, but in some situations, if you need to kill an 8K, gonna come in handy just having just an extra removal card. So I do like running the 1 of Divine Departure, and then we are running a 1 of Red Rock. You know, we're playing a blue leader. We might as well have an out to just any unit, no questions asked, no power nonsense required. Just spend 6 Dawn, bottom deck any unit, and trigger can be pretty solid in some matchups as well. So I do like the Red Rock. And then last up, we are running 4 copies of Mole Pistol. This card is so insanely good. 4 cost. If you've got a character with 6K power on your board, you can give one of your opponents minus 5,000 power and then pop a 2K or less. This is such a good card because it's going to allow you to essentially, you know, just kill 7K units just with this alone. With leader ability, you can kill 9K units, which again is just so useful in like the Yellow Kid matchup if you are running this at like a locals or an event where you expect to see a lot of that, this is such a good card in that matchup. Just in general, it allows you to reduce things even if you don't use the KO effect. I have used Mole Pistol to reduce 12k bodies down to 7k, then leader ability to reduce them to 5k, and then New Gate activates to KO that 12k body. So just excellent card. And then also, if you're on even curve, you know, like I said, you usually want odd curve against green purple Luffy. If you're on even curve, then they are going to play their Sanji Pudding on their 5 Dawn turn. They're going to pass to you. You'll only be on 6 Dawn, so it's going to be too early to play New Gate, unfortunately. But your best answer then is to just attach a Dawn to one of your 5k bodies, whether you played Marco or the other Marco or Atmos. Just attach a Dawn to it, make it a 6k unit, and then spend 4 on Mole Pistol to kill their Sanji Pudding, and then swing 6k with your character into their life, and then you'll still have 1 Dawn left over to attach to leader ability, and again swing 6k into their life. So going evens, this is how you're going to answer the Sanji Pudding in the green purple Luffy matchup. So I really love the Mole Pistol. It comes in so clutch. Once you have a New Gate on board and a Mole Pistol in hand, you can so casually just remove like these huge units from their board with, like, you know, just without batting an eyelid, you're killing 2 massive units. It's such a really, really good combo with this deck. And just in general, I'm really loving this list. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think about it. It's been doing really well for me. Pretty much 100% win rate, at least in all my IRL matchups against Lucci and green purple Luffy. Other matchups might be a little tougher, but Vegapunk and Bonnie, which is another thing, or other matchups I'm seeing a lot of, are also very, very free with this deck. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comments. What would you change? Let me know what other Marco builds you've tried. I'm really interested in this leader in general. And yeah, guys, we will catch you in the next video. Peace.